quite a number of live streams since the beginning of this lockdown. That was kind of the catalyst for this whole experience, the COVID-19 lockdown that was global. I do try and make things not specific to the country that I currently live in or anyone else's country, but this was a global phenomenon. So it really was something that we could all band together and enjoy these times together. And today it's going to be, I'm sort of slightly arbitrarily calling this the end of season 1 because I do need a break and it's time to have a bit of a pause so we can enter into the summer. There's a lot of other things going on the interwebs throughout the summer. And I do really enjoy these very much so, and it's been really wonderful coming together and seeing everyone. And so I do plan to do these again in the autumn or the fall, as they say here in North America. It's been a really great chance to do some teaching, but also just fun. So we will be starting these up again in the fall, and I thought today as well we might be asking some questions, or I might be asking some questions to you about some thoughts of what we could do in the second season of the CGC show. Oh, my brain is already fuzzy. So maybe we can have a little bit of a ideas session of what to include in the second season. But I thought we'd start. I am going to give a quick call to Dave Belcher and also Nikki Tedesco just to check in with them and say hello. But I thought it'd be fun to go over what we did this season, if we're going to call it that. So we'll do that in a little bit. We'll sort of do a bit of a recap of who we talked to and what we did. But first things first, I thought it might be very nice. It's a little bittersweet, not even bittersweet, it's just bitter. It's just a bit sad. This Sunday would have been the beginning of the Classical Guitar Corner Summer School that we hold up in Massachusetts here. And we had the biggest group of people so far signed up. We had international teachers coming over. We had a great team of people running it. We had all sorts of things planned, and it will just have to wait for next time. So we look forward to next time. But in honor of that, I did want to just actually play a video from the previous summer school just for us to enjoy, really. So let me see. Many of you will know what this is. I'll talk a little bit about it after the fact, but for now, Yeah, so that was. Let me see if I can. I've got too many things going on. That was a performance from the summer school in 2019, almost exactly 1 year ago. And as Dave said, yes, hitting us right in the feels to watch that. Many people in the chat um, who were in attendance at the summer school, and many were coming um, to this upcoming summer school. But I thought, I know it's kind of a little bit sad to watch that, and it's also quite evocative music. But let me tell you about it. It was a piece that was arranged by the conductor. You saw that, Janet Agostino, Maestra Janet Agostino from Australia, Sydney. And part of her PhD program, she is focusing on arrangements, and she arranged that piece, which is the Marcello Oboe Concerto. And of course, Brent in here is an oboe player, so he said, maybe I should play that next time. Absolutely. And Jacques Lee Wood, my very close friend of mine there, he's a duo partner with me. We have a cello and guitar duo. He lives up near Boston. And all came together within 5 days of that summer school, both the orchestra and the soloist and the conducting. So really a wonderful moment. And we made a point to sort of make a really nice video out of it. And so it now lives for us to enjoy, albeit with a tinge of sadness these days. So, but we will do more. I have my plan for the next time. It's a really good one, and I'm going to keep that up my sleeve for the next summer school. I think that would be really stunning. So it was a really positive experience. Anyway, so that marks just a little line in the sand, or just a marker of the fact that would have been starting in 3 days' time. So all the more to look forward to next time. Lots of people saying hello in the chat. Hello, everyone. Great to see a lot of very familiar names in here. Thank you. All the people who have been tuning in for the whole first season. So I am going to ask a question out for the chat. And then while people are writing in some ideas and we can talk about it, maybe you can talk about it, I'm going to call one Mr. Dave Belcher, the community manager at Classical Guitar Corner, who did come in on one of the calls we had. We actually went over feedback with myself, Dave Belcher, and Nikki Tedesco, and we gave feedback from the exams back in March. Who else did we have? We started out, the very first person was with Ben Verdery, and that was the initiation of all of this, which was just called Ben and said, hey, do you want to do this? And within 2 hours, we were going live. That was the first one. And then the next session was with Gohar Radanian, a good friend of mine who also lives here in New York City. And then we did a series of scale workshops. Then we had Jeff Peterson, ukulele and steel string virtuoso player, as a guest. We had Stephanie Jones as a guest. Gary Lee was just the other week. As I said, we had Dave and Nikki. And we also had two rhythm workshops, and I believe 4 harmony workshops. We also had analysis works on the Segreras piece. We did, gosh, there's so many, I'm kind of forgetting the pieces we actually studied. So a lot of solo pieces, and so it's been really a lovely experience. I definitely want to do it again. So my question, oh, I see. Matthew Goss. What is a word that nothing rhymes with? I believe orange is the answer to that question. So also maybe pumpkin? I don't know. So my question, to be filtered through the chat as I call Dave, I would love if anyone has any suggestions or ideas for the next season. I might even do a bit of a different setup. I'll obviously have interviews and guests and things. But, I'd be interested in some ideas. Maybe it could be in the form of what you really liked out of these ones. What sort of was your favorite part? Maybe it was the interviews. Maybe it was the lessons. Maybe it was more the informality, just chatting in the chat. I know a lot of people like that. So maybe just let me know. I'm always open to ideas for something that... for the next season, which will start in the fall, probably September-ish. All right, let me give Dave a call. see how Mr. Dave Belcher is doing. We didn't do a test run this time, so hopefully this will work. Oh, I need to move this. Oh, Dave.
I see your armpit.
I know. You're there already. You picked up so quickly. I didn't even get to dance to the little song. Hang on. Let me let me figure out. I've got a. Where's all? Oh no, I lost all this. Hang on. I'll be right with you, Dave. Technical
Okay.
challenges. Mm, no. Got too many windows open. I've lost. You know, I'm just going to do it manually. Here we go. Invite you in. Now you're a little square. I want you to be. Where did it go? I don't know where this thing went. Hold on,
Oh,
everyone.
you mean to do like the little tiles? I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, hang on. Okay, I'm doing all of this very manual. I'm going to drag and drop you. Now you're a big square. Oh, gosh. Why isn't it? It just disappeared on me. All right, you know what? It's going to be what it's going to be. There we go. You are now. This is like a news program. I'm going to put you up where when you're on the news and they say this week in North Carolina.
Nice.
Um, so, Mr. Dave Belcher, how are you? How have you been doing?
I'm good. I've been doing great. Considering coronavirus and children locked in my house with me all the time, I'm doing pretty well.
3 children and 3 months of lockdown makes for uh, a challenge. We'll,
Yes.
we'll say it's a challenge.
It's funny because right before you called, I could hear my youngest yell, "Mommy," and that quickly turned into just shouting matches between my daughters. So yes, it's been interesting.
So we had some comments. Someone commented about your chair and the microphone. I have to say, which is a new addition, are pretty
Yes.
amazing. Tell us about the chair and the microphone. I love the colors.
So I am a gamer. I love to play video games. I've played games my whole life, and this is a gaming chair. But I didn't get it for that reason. I got it because it has these little pillows that are really comfortable, and it's just an easy chair to sit in all day. So it's a little flashy, but that's where it comes from. My microphone, um, I I was actually looking into taping it up so it doesn't look like a bumblebee, but I just I it sounds good, and yeah, I needed something that would go with red.
I love it. I love the colors. I'm getting. Is your birthday today?
It's on Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, so Dave's birthday normally falls within the summer school, and
Yep.
so we'll give you. I guess we'll be doing a yeah. We'll have some kind of over mic thing on Sunday. Maybe people can give you a rendition on Sunday for happy birthday.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Well, preemptive happy birthday from people in the chat. A lot of people are saying happy birthday to you.
Oh, thanks everyone. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, I was madly trying to go to Facebook. I was like, oh my gosh, did I miss it? No.
Not yet, not yet.
So I see a very nice book propped up there in the background.
Oh yeah.
So tell us about that. What's been going on with you and Mr. Dowland?
Yeah, so I have been working on this piece by John Dowland called Lacrimae Pavane for quite a while. It's a wonderful piece from the Renaissance that has become pretty much standard in the guitar repertoire, along with some other Dowland pieces. And I had the idea of making a course out of the piece. I don't remember when, maybe back in January or something. And so I've been researching it so I could finish up that course, and I'm almost done. In fact, I have recorded everything, so I just have to do some edits. And the reason this little book is there is because it's a nice little prop for my videos. And also, this is a fantastic book for anyone interested in Lacrimae. It's by Peter Holman. It's called Dowland Lacrimae. It's actually about a later setting than the instrumental lute version, but that later setting includes the instrumental lute version. So it's really good book, and very short too. It's like 70 pages.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, great. And can you give us a little cheeky insight pre-course release, something of interest about the piece?
Yeah. So one thing that is fascinating about Renaissance music in general, but especially of this piece in particular, is even though it was written for the lute, for an instrument, it imitates vocal texture. So very popular in this time were vocal pieces like madrigals, written for four-part harmony. And this particular piece was written in that style, and then Dowland later arranged it for an actual vocal ensemble, so a solo vocalist with the lute accompanying. So it has lyrics, and it's really cool because you can actually go through each of the phrases in the music, line them up with the stanzas of the lyrics, and it makes it really easy to identify the phrases, which is something that's not always easy to do. Yeah, so I think that's actually the most interesting and also the most challenging aspect of the piece is maintaining all of those independent moving voices, sometimes creating spider-like fingers that are required to make all of it work. Yeah.
Yeah, so Dave's also been creating a study guide along with this course, and one of the challenges is that to what they call explode a
Mm.
score. How many parts? There's four parts.
It's four, yeah.
So four parts within this one, normally crammed into one guitar part or lute part, is exploded onto four different systems, and then probably having the guitar part in addition. So we're taking up a lot of real estate on the pages, but being PDFs, I think we can probably get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Martha's asking, what level is the target for the course? That's an interesting one because we were just talking about that the other day. What is the level? 100.
Yeah. I think it will be above 8. So
Above
you had
eight.
mentioned
It goes to 11.
he goes to 11 exactly. It's English, and so of course it has to have a Spinal Tap joke.
Right. Nice.
Yes, it's what you called I think advanced kind of diploma or performance diploma at that level, similar to other pieces like La Catedral by Barrios or more advanced pieces by Bach. So it's approachable, but there are many passages that will be very tricky to play on the guitar. I just finished up the left hand technique section this morning, and I can just show you real quick. There's this one section that requires this kind of stretch. And then you stretch back.
I think I just heard 1,000 voices groan across the internet, going, "Oh, I can't do that. My hand doesn't go that far." Wow, that's quite a stretch. That's up there with the Shore del Sadad stretch from Barrios, which is
Oh man,
actually
yeah, with that
sometimes a
2-3
bit
thing.
of a thumb
Right,
around
yeah.
the other side.
Yep. So
No, actually, all you need is another person to come in and just press the fret for you.
that's right. Or your nose.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a lot of challenging aspects, but it's rewarding music. It's really funny because the topic of the piece is tears and melancholy and sadness, but in his dedication to that, the Lacrimae Antiquae, which was dedicated to Queen Anne, Dowland mentions that these are not melancholic tears that we're shedding, but tears of gladness. So there's some brightness to the music as well. So a lot of rewarding emotions flowing through the piece.
Oh, I'm very excited to. I've never played this piece in a sort of arrangement, so I'm excited to go through it for myself. But I'm sure a lot of people are very excited for it as well. So great!
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Let me just see if there's anyone who commented to you. Although I know you're going to jump back into the chat, like back in there. Well, Nikki says red and yellow is a perfect combo. So Terry loves the bee-colored microphone. Lots of happy
Nice.
birthdays. Nice chair. That's like the Star Trek chair.
Nice.
Um, and then just because I can't ignore it, Chad is saying an interview with my mom. I don't. Whose mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks, Dave. Thanks for being in the chat all these sessions, and I will see you very soon. And we'll wish you a happy birthday on Sunday.
Yeah. Thanks, Simon.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. All right. Here it is. Okay. So it feels like a news show popping up in the corner. Um, okay, I did see before I'm just looking at some of the questions, and I see Niaz Adams asked, "How often do you have these videos?" Well, actually, it's been twice a week for the last 3 months, but this is the last one. So sorry about that. This is the last one for a while because I need a little bit of a break, and I think also it's just good to have boundaries. We need boundaries. Okay, let me just see. I asked the question before we went to Dave about ideas for the second season of this, which I'm tentatively calling the CGC show. Uh, I I started out doing something like this for the Academy members, but it wasn't. Nothing was live. It's a very different dynamic when it's live, which I quite kind of like, to be honest. Jenny asked, "When is the next season?" Well, it will be in September, October, that in the fall, basically after the North Hemisphere's summer. Getting phone calls. Martha said, based on a lot of recent questions, it might be useful for a tutorial on strings, tension materials, etc. That's a great idea. I know I've got some connections with people in Dario, and I know that there's people there who are actually brand ambassadors, so to speak. So actually, I think I could fairly easily get someone from Dario to come in and very knowledgeable about strings to come in and talk about it. I've actually also wanted to go and do, kind of a report at their facility. It's because it's out in Long Island, so maybe some opportunities there. Kerry said, guest sound engineer to talk about basic concepts to consider when recording. It's a great idea. Yeah, lots of people. You know who I really want to get is Drew Henderson, because he's such a great player too. And then yes, Chad saying interview with your mum. I'm not sure why you suggested that, but it's a suggestion. We'll take it. And Kerry said, seconds the idea of an interview with my parents. Interesting. All right, I would never have thought that would be a intrigue of any of you. But anyway, interesting. I'm just looking through. Ken says, talking about comparing ourselves with other players. Highly, this doesn't work. My sentence doesn't work. I don't think it's the greatest idea. That's my suggestion. That's me talking about comparing ourselves with other players. I don't think. Yeah, it's maybe if done with a healthy mindset, it can be positive. But definitely slippery slope there, I think. Okay. Next season, performance with our teachers, guitar trio, quartet, quintet, preferably at least one piece composed by themselves. Love it. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to do more performances or get some more performing aspect. I think that's a great idea. So strings, my parents, sound engineer, and more performances. I don't know about the quartets, trios. Maybe if Nikki's able to come over here, which she normally does, that could be possible. Okay, Jenny's talking about a session on how to arpeggiate an accompaniment to a song. Yeah, sure. That's sort of a little bit slightly different styles and purposes, but that's great. Matthew's saying, I can see a Dave Belcher spin-off to this season, like Trapper, John M.D. Damash. I like it. Yeah. Could bring in some gaming in there. Yeah, perfect. Jenny asked, Simon, you've mentioned you're writing 2 books. Can you tell us what they will be on? Okay, well, one is a very long-term one I've had wanting to do for the longest time is on sight reading. That's what I did my doctoral thesis on. I have a lot of thoughts on it, a lot of approaches, but in the end, it's actually just a big tome of stuff. The other one I'm going to keep under wraps until it's ready. So after, but yeah, one's on sight reading. Um, Cindy was saying would love more analysis, uh, like we did in Devisé's D minor prelude. Sure, great. I enjoyed those too, very much. And there's so many we could go through, and you could just pick a piece and start digging into it, which would be fun. Les would ask to hear about touring experiences. Plenty of stories there for sure. I back when I was still, there was a weird period after being on campus as a student and getting the doctorate. I had to go and prove myself, and I traveled a lot. I basically took every single gig I could get my hands on, paid or otherwise, and I went all over the place: China, Chile, South, Buenos Aires, all over the place. So yes, there's definitely got some stories there. As Martha's asking Dave about what pizzas he will make. Oh, barbecue chicken is the answer. Yes, Brent is saying, but I have an interview with your dad because his name is also Brent. More on phrasing and articulation. Sure. The occasional masterclass. Well, we do have masterclasses in the academy. I assume you mean like, well, I guess maybe you mean working with an individual or bringing in guest teachers. And there's James. Hi, James. James Erickson's there saying hello, one of our part of the CGC family. Stephen's asking for more theory and composition, tips for sight reading from Jenny, session on the basics of composition, lesson about ornaments, arranging of, wow, there's a lot of topics here. Chad said, how about a video tour of your favorite guitar store in New York? Not so many guitar stores in New York anymore. I guess the only one I would say is my favorite is Rudy's down in Soho. It's a very beautiful store, but yeah, not too many stores left, unfortunately. All right, so the questions sort of have gone. Yeah, so some great suggestions. Thank you. I can definitely go back into the comments on YouTube. But I think it is time to call another member of the CGC family, Nicoletta Todesco. So let me, there. Now let's see the speed of which, I'll get a little bit of a dance in. Hey, Nikki.
Hello.
Let me just bring you up here. Hang on. There you are.
Hi, everyone.
I've got you in the news broadcast position.
Great. Great. Oh yes, I see myself on the phone because I was in the chat before,
Right.
and now we swap. Dave is in the chat again. It's kind of weird.
How are you?
Ooh,
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Nice.
It's raining in New York, fortunately, because we had 2 days that were like super hot. I was so worried. I said, "Oh my God, if this is gonna be summer, I'm gonna die."
Summer in New York is. Ooh, I'm getting quite an echo there, Nikki. Maybe
Okay,
if you could just turn it down just a little bit.
Yep.
Summer in New York is definitely. I've never experienced heat anywhere like the depths of the subway in New York City, because all of the cement and concrete and asphalt just keeps the heat for 3 months. So it's spicy. It's a spicy meatball. Sorry.
I like spicy. The word spicy there, yeah, makes sense. Do you hear okay, or do you hear me bad?
No, it sounds great. Sorry, I was hearing my own voice. Great, people are saying hello to you and saying, Chad said, love it when Nikki is on. Yeah, so I want to hear from you, Nikki. There's been a couple of projects going on. Tell us about the duet book.
Oh my God, this is like hot because it's so ongoing and just recent and almost finishing. So we are in the final rush, and it feels like almost there. Plus, because we just had in the academy, I repeat that because maybe there are some people in the chat that are not members of the academy. So we just had a month where we worked on a duet challenge, with our members. So we had to listen to a lot of virtual duets that were amazing. And in the meantime, we are about to publish a duet book. So it's quite exciting. And
I was thinking for a CGC live show, CGC show live exclusive, I could show the cover.
Oh, wow.
Shall we? Shall we? This is, this is going to definitely make CNN, people will be talking about it. It's going to be epic. All right, ready? Here it is. Dun, da, da, da. That is the cover, and that is why my guitars have new strings on them, because they had a photo shoot the other day. Very exciting, very exciting.
I love the cover because we're not going to change it.
Right, yeah,
So
now we can't change
just
it.
has to say we love it.
Hang on, back. Yeah. Now we can't change it because it's yes, as James just said, breaking news.
Yeah, that was an honor. Like people today with us in the live stream did have a privilege.
Right, yes. They thought it was just going to be a regular old show, and now, little do they know, all these insights to the goings-on of CGC.
Yeah, plus I feel like for people that are impatient about this duet book because they have heard about it before, and like this is like the proof that we're actually working on it.
Yeah, we can't stop doing new stuff because I started writing a couple duets, and then you wrote a couple duets just the other day, which are great, by the way. I didn't get a chance to talk to you about them yet, but they're great. One's called
one is called okay. Let's talk about that because it might feel silly, but I like to give silly names. One is The Daisy and the Wind, and the other one is completely different. Is a night one. Is The Midnight Spell. They're just different characters. I felt like we were going through the last duets, like the last revision, because we have a lot of duets that we compiled first or transcribed early music duets. Then we have some, of course, 19th century music duets. Then we have collaborations with some live composers, and that's also great. And then we have your duets. And I feel like people are impatient to see those too. And we kind of felt the urgency of having some different materials for beginners because sometimes it's hard to find new pieces that also suit certain educational purposes. Like, for instance, playing in first position, playing melodies that are easy for the fingers, that don't involve very hard techniques. And they sound also modern, because we have a lot of pieces like by Carulli and maybe Giuliani. We have music that belongs to another era, and we felt the urgency of having more modern pieces. So that's
Giuliani?
why I said, let's write them.
Do we have Giuliani?
No, we don't have actually Giuliani.
Definitely Carulli. He wrote great duets.
Yeah. No, there are Giuliani's duets, but I feel like actually most of them are on the harder side.
Right.
The one that he wrote. Carulli has more easy ones.
The Rossini overture arrangements that Giuliani did were fantastic. La Gazzarata.
Oh, yes.
Really good.
And Les Deux Amis. There's another good one. The Two Friends is called like that. Deux Amis. It's a very fun one, but it's super long and hard.
Yeah, well, Jenny's saying, brilliant to include beginner pieces. Well, we're actually modeling it after the solo repertoire book, where we have grades 1 through 8. So we actually have grade 1 duets through to advanced ones, and so we're making them balanced. The difference with these is that obviously the first part and the second part can sometimes be a little bit mismatched in terms of difficulty. So somewhere like grade 1 for guitar 1 and grade 3 for guitar 2, or what have you. But it also opens up opportunities to play with teachers or people of different levels of ability. So I think it'll be really good.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Also, it's fun if you have this paired grade of guitars, because you get to play with a more advanced person, for instance. So you get to hear different type of harmonies and complexion in the other part that makes your part even more fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And plus, it's a great learning process. I'm thinking, for instance, about the next summer school, And because I want to think about that, because it's so sad that we're not having one this year, but I'm thinking about open mics, for instance. People deciding to pair up with their friends and having the opportunity of a duet that they can play that suits both parts. That would be great.
I think there will be a lot of duets next open mic, for sure.
Yes, I can't wait for that.
Now, I also wanted to ask you about the workshops that are going to be run next week at CGC Academy.
Yes. Well, same, because you started these live sessions on quarantine, but we, as a team, I think we thought a lot about what we can offer now. These hard time and hard period to support the community, to give certain things to even just company or support musically. And one of those things were live workshops for the CGC community. And so we run a few of them, Dave and I. Every time we do these workshops, we repeat them twice. So there's more opportunity for people to be there live. And we did some beginners one, and we got requests for more advanced ones too. So we did the good one on practice routine 10, and we're going to do one Monday and Wednesday on practice routine 13. Those are we basically base the lesson on one entire practice routine from the 20 practice routine book. And those are also practice routines that for CGC members will go into the exams. When they have exam submission, they have to play through an entire practice routine. So we decided to take the one that actually goes to the exam. In this case, practice routine 13, grade 5 people. I'm calling you because I know that's a tricky one. There's some interesting aspects, and it's a good opportunity not just to play together, but also to ask questions that normally you cannot ask, or you have to wait for an email or for your coaching call to be able to ask a specific question on that.
Yep.
So we hope to have some people tuning in, and if not, we will have the replays.
Yeah, no, I think they've been great. There's been so many positive things that have come out of this change of situation, and that's definitely one of them. So what's your plan over the summer?
I stopped having plans a
Okay.
while ago.
It's not the greatest question to ask, I suppose.
No, it's a great question, but I'm in a point like a lot of other people, where we don't really have specific plans, but we can get the most by being today and here now in the present, and like little by little, like just working, because quarantine now New York is opening up, and probably little by little we will go back to some kind of normality. But and this is not a secret, I'm in my visa process, so I cannot go out of the US anymore until I get my next visa. So I'm waiting for that. So it's kind of a limbo. And my husband will come here hopefully the beginning of August. So that's another plan. So besides that, I don't have other plans, because I kind of have to see how things go, how things will go on. But I will keep on working, maybe keep on writing, because these times I've been writing a lot, and instead of being centered on concerts and events and things that are happening, I work more on my own projects. So I kind of want to finish them. I have some in the pan boiling nice. And almost ready to go. So I will go on with those, I think.
Very good. All right, Nikki. Well, thanks for being with all these sessions, being in the chat and helping people out, and came in for your interview, and you also had the feedback session for the exam. So thank you for all your contributions.
No, thank you, and thank you to all the community, because I think, first of all, this chat is beautiful. It's always so fun. People are excited and there and present, and there are so many ideas that come up. Sometimes I find myself writing back some messages and I feel like, oh wow, this is a brilliant idea, or this is a brilliant comment, and stuff like that. So people are passionate, so it's more fun for me.
Right.
Anyway, thank you, and we'll see you Monday for who comes to the workshop.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks, Nikki. See you.
Bye.
Bye. Isn't technology wonderful? So that's great. We'll have to definitely have James and Sonia on sometime in the future as well. James and Sonia have been helping us with the coaching calls on Saturdays, and it'd be great to get them more involved, just in general. So, and for those who, I know the coaching calls have been a little bit up in the air for a lot of people because we had such an influx of people earlier in the spring. The waiting list now is sort of getting churned through. So if you do want to be added to the waiting list for coaching calls, please just email through and let us know. And we're also going to endeavor to get it permanently put in the main menu where you can just sign up for the waiting list there. But we are getting through the waiting list quite steadily. So if you have interest to do the coaching calls, just let us know. Heidi said, Nikki, you're so positive. We love you. Yes, it's Nikki is incredibly positive, and she's such a very huge asset. I'm very grateful to be working with the people that are involved with CGC. That includes both the members and the, what do we call them, faculty. And they're a really wonderful crowd of people. Speaking of that, Roger Ramirez, I don't know if he's still on the chat, but he had his 50th episode of the Rogcast, or the Classical Guitar Corner Academy Members Podcast. So congratulations, Roger, on getting 50 episodes done. That's fantastic. And thank you for everything you've contributed there. It's really wonderful. So we had some ideas about season 2. I will, of course, be letting people know on the email when we will start having these sessions again. As I said, it's probably going to be September, I would think. So just head on over to classicalguitarcorner.com and get on the email list. You can even go classicalguitarcorner.com/live. That is the email list that also tells you about these sessions. It's going to be a great summer. Obviously, we'll be doing a lot of things inside the academy and doing a lot of live sessions and coaching and ideas as well. But for these fun live YouTube sessions, I think we're gonna call it a wrap. And on a high note, thank you everyone so much for coming in and being positive and contributing. Day after day and week after week. I really do appreciate it. That's all I got to say. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. And we'll be back in the fall with new energy, new ideas, and probably a lot of stories to share. So take care, everyone. Thank you. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.